one thing that's brilliant about TM is that it's heavily scientifically researched. And I'll get into more of the science later. But there have been hundreds of scientific research studies that look at TM's effects on our brain, on our body, on our relationships, our ability to be responsive, not reactive to stress, therefore creating a more harmonious environment in all of our relationships and with ourselves. Well, as our mind settles down, our body settles down. And the way that the brain reflects this settling experience is that the brain starts to produce these very coherent brain waves known as alpha 1 brainwave activity. So suddenly we're experiencing this deep rest in the body and this coherent experience and expression in the brain. And this is happening within a few seconds of someone practicing TM. So this isn't something that takes years to master. Now, the result of that coherence that's taking place during TM is that when we come out into activity, we maintain that coherence in orderly thinking, heightened creativity. They've done studies looking at this brain coherence, this global EEG coherence, and its correlates in activity. Higher GPA, better moral reasoning, decreased neuroticism, higher IQ, ability to think more clearly and more creatively. In fact, all areas of intelligence are seen to improve. So these are just some examples of how the brain is impacted. They've done a lot of studies on transcendental meditation and its effects on anxiety, specifically trait anxiety. It's that anxiety we wake up with in the morning. There's no real reason for us to feel anxious, but we feel that tension. And that anxiety is a result of the body experiencing an upregulated sympathetic nervous system. So that fight or flight response. So the system is flooded with cortisol and adrenaline, even when we're doing something that wouldn't cause this normal stress response. Now, during the practice of TM, not only do we have this settling down of the brainwave activity, but the body getting this deep rest starts to downregulate the sympathetic nervous system and upregulate the parasympathetic nervous system. So instead of that flood of adrenaline and cortisol, we get this flood of dopamine and serotonin and other relaxation neurochemicals in the physiology. How does this show up? Less stress, less anxiety. And in fact, the American Heart Association says that TM can be prescribed to patients with high blood pressure. It's the only meditation that actually reduces high blood pressure compared with other techniques. They've also done a very interesting study on the effects of TM and aging. This is one of my favorite studies, that people who practice TM for 5 or more years have a biological age 12 to 15 years younger than their chronological age. And so we're not just seeing this influence again on our brain, but we're seeing this full scope of rest influencing our health. People who practice TM are less likely to visit the hospital. Whatever the reason we're coming to TM from, we'll get the full scope of benefits. And that's really a beautiful aspect of this technique. It's a full service, full spectrum technique.